So if you're a high ticket affiliate marketer, a coach, someone who sells their knowledge online and I guess in close proximity with others, whether it's group coaching or as a one-to-one or whatever, or leverage through a course and whatnot, here's something for you. And especially for those of you that are like a high ticket affiliate looking to transition over to selling your own knowledge, things like that. I'm going to give you a piece of advice that will be hard to absorb, because it's going to feel very foreign to you to start with, for some of you at least anyway. Others are probably already wired that way. Here's the thing. Low ticket coaching clients are shit. They're really shit, right? You can sell something because you think, okay, well, like I want to make sure that I'm getting clients on board, so I'm going to undercut the market, right? I'm going to give a real freaking good discount for my time and energy. A little bit different if you're selling courses, you can leverage that obviously a little bit more. But yeah, you can't really do that when you're exchanging time for money. And so what I would suggest to anyone is think about the way that you value your time. Because if you don't value your time, no one else will. And one of the things that I've seen, especially if you've tried to sell coaching from a low ticket basis, a couple $100 for whatever, which I've done before, I speak out of experience, is that the demands that the people have on you at that time, they're expecting miracles. They are literally out there going, this person's my savior. They're going to make me $1 billion and it's going to be amazing. And so what that means is that you're then draining your energy and you start to feel resentment because it turns into babysitting. Because what happens is they have these crazy expectations. And so because of those crazy expectations, if they aren't met in immediate succession, then they will hold you accountable. And as the coach, especially if you haven't raised the bar for yourself in order to charge appropriate prices, you're going to start to feel resentful of people around you. Because then you think, well, fuck me, like what else do I need to give? Like I just feel like, you want my firstborn, you want like a blood sample, like what else do you guys want? And so therefore, what I've experienced is that if you are selling high ticket, a couple of things happen. Number one is the people on the other side of that transaction take the information way more serious. They take it way more serious. It stings a little bit. So therefore they have to go in and actually do the work. They're more likely to stay focused on that work as well, which is really cool. It's exactly what you want. You want them to stay focused. The other thing as well is you start to feel like there has been an even exchange. You start to feel like, well, okay, I've been remunerated fairly for the knowledge and coaching and guidance that I have. So in theory, absent of even financial results, you're still giving 10x the value that they are paying, right? 10x. And that is how you need to consider your time. The other thing I also think of is when it comes to valuing your time, consider a couple of things. Consider that if you spend, let's say, 6 weeks coaching someone, for argument's sake, right? And you cover, all the kind of pillars of online marketing, so mindset and offer creation and a sales formula and nurturing and content, blah blah, right? You cover all that stuff, and you got to think how long and how much have you invested in yourself in order to attain that knowledge. How long have you taken to gain that knowledge, right? So some of us, we took a long time. It took me 7.5 years before I started cranking out $1,000 days online. That was a very long time, right? But I knew if I just kept going, I'm gonna hit it somehow, some way. It's gonna happen for me, right? And it did. But the other part of it is some of you haven't been in the game as long, and that's cool too. I'm not having to go at anyone. But the folks that haven't been in the game as long, a lot of the time, they wanted to shortcut. They've got great mentality. And so they'll, unlike me, they'll go out there and go, you know what? How can I condense 4 years of college into a 6-week process by absorbing the knowledge of that person? And so therefore, when they start to think like that, the people that are watching, when you go, cool, well, here's a couple of grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, whatever it is to grow my online business, you're contracting time. And that is what people are paying for. And so you as a coach, if you've been down that journey and either you've spent years in the trenches like I did, like learning every single possible thing I possibly could about every nuance there absolutely was, or you've shortcutted your way because you're smart and it hasn't taken you as long to start hitting those results. Still think about the compression of time it's taken for you to build that sense of self-worth in order to be able to go out there and do the thing and sell some stuff and help people out, blah, blah. So again, capping that off, don't undersell what you know. Don't undersell the time you can save someone else. Don't underestimate that, right? So don't undersell yourself. If you are going to discount, make it a high rate to start with, right? Like as a beta launcher, for example. And when you do, then you'll feel better about it because at least you'll know that there's a more even exchange. Otherwise, you'll feel like you're being ripped off. The other thing happens that usually high ticket buyers are better. They're just better at everything. It's normally like, cool, all right, where do I sign up? Okay, but yeah, that's done. You're like, oh, and it almost, when it first starts happening, it almost feels too easy. And you almost feel like, if I miss what the hell's going on here? If I miss something? As opposed to low ticket buyer. Yeah, I don't know, and then what type of support do I get? And then what happens when the dodecahedron falls on the floor and then the chicken comes over and gets the thing, and they start talking about this irrelevant stuff that means absolutely nothing because they are in a state of turmoil because it means so much for them to go and invest in that thing. So therefore, because of that, it also means, like I say, their expectations on the other side of it are elevated. They are monstrous. And so therefore, they're a drain on your time and energy. High ticket buyer, sweet, here's some cash, here's 5K, here's 10K, whatever. When do we kick off? Whenever, just so you can find a spot on my calendar. Oh, sounds good. Cool. Because guess what? They have expectations that they can make it work, right? Better. Anyway, that's my random little rant for today. Hope you guys are having a great whatever day it is where you are, and see you in the next one.